Hello. This video will be going over Guided Project 2-1. Courtyard Medical Plaza has doctor offices, a pharmacy, x-ray and lab services, insurance and billing support, optometry and dental facilities, as well as on-site dining. We're going to be working through an inventory worksheet for the pharmacy as well as insurance and payment data for the optometry group. So you'll be given this data file, and the first thing you want to do is you want to save the data file under your own name. So again, go to File, Save As. In my instance, I'd rather save it as my name, then the file, and ideally I'm going to name it as Excel 2-1, and then we can get started here. The first thing it's going to ask us to do is enter and copy subtraction formulas. So we're on our lookup data sheet on cell E2. We're going to actually type in equals. We're going to click on our D2 retail, press the minus key, and then click C2. Press enter, and we get the difference. From here, we're going to fill this down to the rest of our sheet. Now you'll notice when I click out of this that this heading frame box copy down with it. We don't want that to happen, so we come down here to our autofill options. We're going to say fill without formatting. At which time we're going to come in here and we're going to say we want this to be currency. And so you've done all the way down to H already. Then saying go to the optometry group, click cell G5, and now we're trying to figure out patient responsibility. So in this case, it's going to ask us to start equals. Again, we're going to say how much is billable minus the amount that the patient can deduct, and the amount left over is what the patient still owes. Responsibility. Again, we're going to fill this down, but notice how the orange followed it down. Coming in here, fill without formatting, and that way the formatting of the original cell stays there. Now we're going to start naming our cell ranges. In this instance, it's asking us to say range E5 to E24, and then we want to rename this billables. This is our name box up here. We're going to type in billables and press enter. Now we're going to go back up to our lookup data worksheet tab, selecting cells A2 to D16, and we're going to rename this costs. Now another way to create these naming conventions is here. If we click cells H2 through I15, and then we're going to go to our formulas tab and then use our create from selection. We're going to use the left column to create names, and then we're going to press OK. We can test this by going up here to this little drop down box, and we can see Green Cross, Iris Med, Medi, and Westville all showed up in our names categories. Now we're going to use these names to do some average, min, and max calculations, which is number 4. Clicking on our optometry tab, we're going to come down here to our average billables. So we're going to type in equals AVER for average. You can see it came up here. We can either click on this or we can hit tab to get the rest of the argument there. We're going to say E5 to E24, and then press enter. Now the same thing for the maximum billable, except this time we're going to use the auto sum button. Going back to our Home tab, the Sum button, the little down arrow for more, we can come up here to Max. And again, at the same time, we'll highlight the entire range, and then we'll press Enter. One more time to calculate the min, billables, the range, and Enter. Now, we're going to set the order of operations in a 3D formula, which is referencing more than one worksheet. Going over here to our insurance worksheet, we're going to calculate the total with service, because this is the amount we're charging, but then each insurance agency has an additional service fee. We're going to calculate this amount by looking up the service fee and then calculating the result. So by clicking on the cell D5, we're going to start looking with lookup data. So we're going to say equals C5 multiplied, and then in parentheses, because we're actually going to do some formula work in the next part, 1 plus, because we're adding the amount plus the percentage. And now we're coming over here to look up data. We want the green cross. We want the green cross service charge, which is 2%. And press Enter. Notice, because it's not within the same worksheet, it's going to come up with an error. We want to, because I forgot the last parentheses, we're going to say yes. And now from here, we can fill down to D9. Now the next step is editing and copying a formula. So we can say D9 and copy it to D10. We either copy by hitting Control C and Control V, or right clicking to hit copy and paste formula. Now the thing is, it pasted the exact same formula, still with referencing green cross. We can double click here or press F2 to get to the edit screen. We can highlight the green cross section, go back to our lookup data and click on Iris Med, press Enter, and then it's updated. Now this time I'm going to fill this down to actually one additional to Med I. We're going to do the same thing here this time, except this time we're going to Iris Med, and instead of going back to VLOOKUP and everything else, right, one thing you can do is press the F3 button to get a list of names. Well, we want Med I, so we're going to click Med I, press OK, Enter. Again, we're going to fill down to the top of Westville, double click Westville, change out Med I F3 to Westville, Enter, and then we're going to continue to fill down. After this, you can see some of these have 1 decimal, some of them have 4 decimals. We want to make this all currency valuation. And we'll round it to 2 decimal places and give it the $sign. Next, we're going to start using a SUMIF function. Going back to our optometry tab, we're going to scroll down slightly here. We're going to bring up our view slightly just so everybody can see it. Green cross here. Okay, so we're going to sum the billable hours if their insurance is green cross. How do we do this? Well, we're going to say, I'm going to actually lower this here a little bit. Formulas, there's going to be a math and trig function, and then we can say SUMIF. Right, it's going to give us some range and some criteria. Well, the range is where we're testing. So the testable range here is this insurance. Go back to the formula function arguments. The criteria. In this case, we're going to say if it's green cross. And the sum range, where we want them to sum, is billable hours, or billables. Press OK, and we should get 1030. Now, we can also verify these results. When we come up here, we can say green cross. So this is green cross, green cross, green cross. Now we're going to press Control. Press Control key and then highlight E20 and 21. At the very bottom of the screen here in the green, you can see the average is 206, count 5, and the sum is 1030. This matches with our sum of 1030. Now, we want to copy the sum if function with a relative reference. We're going to click D31 here. We're going to drag the fill pointer to copy the formula to from D32 to D34. Okay, so we're going to select the cell D32. The reference to cell C31, the original, is updated to cell C32 in the copied formula. The only issue is you can see here how this is slightly shifted. Right, we're going to move this up by 1. We're going to just do the same thing here. We're going to shift this, and then we're going to shift this as well. Okay, so one more time to test. Right, so we want to test med-I. That's med-I, 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 and med-I. Sum 1455 equals the sum of 1455. So that is correct. Now we want to format these cells 31 through 34 as currency, which is back on our Home tab. And then we're going to start using our VLOOKUP. So we're going to come over here to our Pharmacy tab. We're actually going to start looking up our product ID. So we're going to come over to C6, which is our costs. We're going to do a lookup. Formulas, lookup and reference, VLOOKUP. What is it we're looking up? We're looking up the product ID, A6, and the table array which we're looking it up in. Well, the table array is our lookup data sheet. You go to our lookup data sheet, select cells A2 to D16, which are our costs. Okay, we're going to go to the column index because we're looking for the costs. Costs here is number 3, so it's actually 3. And then our range lookup, in this case we are looking up as false because this is a logical statement. Press OK and we get a cost. Now we're going to copy this cell down and then we remove the formatting. Now the next step is actually type it in ourselves. Okay, so we're going to do the retail lookup. So we're going to say equals VL, VLOOKUP is tab. Lookup value, we're going to select A6, comma. Next is the table array. So we're just typing costs. You can see that actually costs, once we actually got typing in, it came up here as an option. So costs, comma. We're going to look up 4 because, remember, in lookup data, retail cost is 4. So we're going to actually delete this pharmacy part here. We'll put number 4, and then we're going to type in false. Exact match, parentheses, and enter. And we get the price for acetaminophen at $3.99. We're going to copy and fill this down. Again, take off our formatting issues. And then we're going to do both of these as currency. Now, next thing is we're going to talk about order of precedence slightly. We're going to select cell E6. We want the margin. The margin is how much in addition to the cost are we charging? How much do we mark it up by? We calculate this by taking the difference between the retail and the cost and dividing by the cost. So, equals, parentheses, we want the difference between the retail and the cost. So D6 minus C6, parentheses, first operation. We want then to divide it by C6, press enter. Now it's giving us a dollar amount, right? We want a percentage, so we're going to click a percentage tab here, 60%. So we marked it up from 250 by 60% to $3.99. If we had marked it up by 100%, it will have doubled, so it went from $2.50 to $5. So let's fill down our margin again, and then let's remove the formatting. And let's keep all of those then at the percentage marker. Now, we're going to trace dependents and precedents. Clicking here on C6, we can actually go up here to our Formulas tab and trace precedents. So you can see that's taking this A6 and information from another sheet to get to this amount. Okay, now if we collect, say, E6, say trace precedents, we can say, okay, it's taking this amount and this amount to calculate this. The same thing for D7, we trace dependents. Well, the arrow points to E7 because it's dependent on that. Let's get rid of all these arrows. We can do that by saying remove arrows, fairly simply. Next, we're going to do a sum product. What is the total value of all the items sold at cost? So we sold 12 of acetaminophen at $2.50, 8 of antibiotic ointment at $2.25. So you can go through and you can say, so what's the sum of this and this, sum of this and this, and then you can add all those. But Excel allows you to do that a little bit faster by using a sum product. So you're adding up all the products between two ranges of numbers. So, see 22. We're going to do our math and trig. Scroll down to sum product. It's going to say array 1. Well, the first array is here. The second array is the quantity. And that's it. Now, let's do the sum product at the total cost of retail. Now, we'll type it in here. We'll type in equals sum P, sum product, hit tab, highlight this column, comma, the quantity column, parentheses, enter. Now, let's format these cells to be currency valuation. Notice we have hashtags. Let's auto widen this column so the number fits. Now, let's go use the payment to calculate patient payments. So we'll do this under the payments tab. So we're saying some financial information here. They're financing $500 over 2 years. They're making payments, but they're incurring a 2.75% interest fee. So what's that 2.75% interest fee? Or what's the payment, how much do they need to pay when they're paying 2.75% to pay it off within 2 years? Now, Excel allows you to do this fairly easily. So, on number 18 here, if you want to follow along, we're clicking on this tab here. You're going to go up to Formulas, our Financials tab, and then we're going to go click on Payment, PMT, our rate. Well, it's 2.75%. But the problem is it's 2.75% a year. So really, per month, it's 2.75% divided by 12. Number of payments, well, it's over 2 years, monthly, so 24 payments. The present value is simply 500. Now if we press F4, we can lock it in, so every cell references this. We do it once, and we lock in the column 6. We do it again. We lock in, or we column, or the row 6. Locking in the third time, we say row A. And the type, we want a 1, because we're saying it's at the beginning, right, of the month, rather than at the end of the period, or end of the month. We're going to press OK, and it's $21.39. If we fill this down, if they finance $1,000, they got to pay $42.77. Now let's fill it to the right here. You'll notice these two numbers are the same. However, here we need to be looking at 3.25%. A couple ways to do this. If you double click in this, you can edit that here. You can click up here, or press F2 to get up here, or you can press this function key to get back to the arguments. And here we can say 3.25, press OK, and you see the payments change slightly. If we fill down, that payment's changed as well. Now one of the last things I'm asking you to do is enter the today function. So coming here to A14, we're going to press equals TO. The first option, only option left here is today. Press tab, press enter, and it'll put in today's date. And that is it for guided practice 1.